In the 1830s, a time not too far removed from the dawn of modern journalism, a bold publication called the New York Sun emerged as a key player in the blossoming landscape of news media. Launched in 1833, it quickly gained traction for its engaging stories, witty commentary, and keen understanding of the emerging needs of a growing urban population. But what if I told you that this very newspaper would soon captivate not just New Yorkers, but the entire nation with a fantastical series of articles about life forms on the moon? Yes, you heard it right. The Sun published a sensational account of lunar discovery that claimed scientists had found proof of life beyond our planet. These articles, known as the Great Moon Hoax, presented jaw-dropping tales of exotic creatures, breathtaking landscapes, and elaborate societies thriving in a realm we were just beginning to understand. Writers painted a vivid picture of moon-dwelling beings, complete with wings, sapphire eyes, and a culture that supposedly rivaled our own. Imaginations ran wild as readers were introduced to what they thought were detailed descriptions of everything from giant bipedal creatures who grazed beneath towering crystalline structures to intricate lunar cities buzzing with activity. The format of these articles was as compelling as their content. Presented as a series of 6 parts, each installment unfolded like an unfolding adventure tale sprinkled with the allure of scientific discovery. The first installment alone was a sensation, boosting circulation and drawing readers in like moths to a flame. Print shops were rushed to keep up with the unprecedented demand as newsstands struggled to restock and satisfy the public's insatiable curiosity. And what was the public response, you may wonder? The reaction was nothing short of frenzy. Many were swept up by the audacity of the claims, celebrating what they viewed as an exciting conclusion to humanity's ages-old questions about the cosmos. Some were skeptical, but skepticism in that era hadn't quite developed as a widespread cultural norm. The moon, our celestial neighbor, transformed from a distant orb into a rich tapestry of possibility and intrigue. As people read about these strange beings and their extraordinary lives, they began to imagine worlds beyond their own, blending facts and fiction in a heady mix that echoed through society. The moon hoax served as both entertainment and a social commentary, reflecting humanity's desire to reach for the stars, to understand the unseen, and perhaps even to cling to the fantastical in a rapidly industrializing world. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Beyond the bizarre tales of lunar life, the Great Moon Hoax raises critical questions about media sensationalism and the public's perception of truth. How did a single publication manage to shift widespread beliefs and fuel a national dialogue about science and exploration? And what does this all reveal about our relationship with media today? As we unravel this captivating chapter in American history, it's crucial to consider how the allure of tantalizing stories can so easily draw us in, even when those stories tread the fine line between reality and fiction. The Great Moon Hoax isn't just an entertaining tale from the 19th century. It stands as an enduring reminder of our fascination with the unknown, as well as a cautionary tale about the fragile interplay between journalism, science, and public belief systems in an age increasingly defined by information overload. The Great Moon Hoax kicked off with a series of remarkable articles that outlined not only the existence of life on the moon, but showcased an entire civilization. The initial piece, published in August 1835, introduced readers to the fantastical creatures inhabiting our celestial neighbor. These weren't mere animals, but beings with extraordinary attributes. The reports described bipedal creatures with bat-like wings, covered in soft blue fur. The allure didn't stop there. These beings were said to construct elaborate structures made of crystal and had a remarkably advanced societal framework. As the series unfolded, readers were treated to further outrageous claims, including the discovery of strange vegetation, giant luminescent plants that thrived in the moon's atmospheric conditions. One particularly astonishing detail depicted a vast landscape dotted with peaceful lakes, towering mountains, and sprawling forests reminiscent of a mythical utopia. With each article, the imaginative descriptions painted an otherworldly panorama, rendering the moon not just a barren rock, but a vibrant hub of life brimming with unique mammals, feathered creatures, and even intelligent inhabitants. The narratives crafted by the New York Sun were almost poetic, breathing life into the cold, distant orb in the night sky. Illustrating the articles were etchings that further captivated public attention. These artistic interpretations, though crudely drawn, were compelling enough to stir the imaginations of readers, providing a visual hook that anchored the fantastical tales in the minds of the public. Skeptics may have raised an eyebrow at the narrative, but the illustrations lent an air of authenticity, convincing many that perhaps there was more truth to these outrageous claims than they initially believed. In a time before instant information, these illustrations created a bridge between the fantastical and real, allowing people to visualize the astonishing moon life described. As these sensational articles circulated, the reactions poured in. Many were swept up in the excitement, abandoning skepticism for the thrill of discovery. Enthusiasts eagerly anticipated each subsequent release, turning up at newsstands and discussing the latest findings in salons and coffee houses across New York. The moon became a focal point of culture and conversation, shifting from the realm of science to the sensational, igniting imagination and curiosity. Yet not all responses were positive. Some prominent members of the press and intellectual circles called attention to the absurdity of the claims. They questioned the veracity of the reporting and the responsibility of media to distinguish fact from fiction. However, as the Great Moon Hoax unfolded, it didn't seem to deter public enthusiasm. Rather, it seemed to build it. The interplay between belief and skepticism created an intense dialogue, one that was not only reflective of an era embracing stories of wonder, but also veering dangerously close to gullibility. This entire episode offers pivotal insights into the intertwined nature of journalism, public perception, and scientific inquiry in the 19th century. In a world hungry for knowledge, yet so easily captivated by fiction, the Great Moon Hoax reveals how sensationalism can overshadow rational thought. It exemplifies how a single publication managed to redefine the moon in the eyes of the public, while also testing the boundaries of credibility, foreshadowing ongoing challenges in our relationship with the media. A dynamic that remains as relevant today as it was over a century ago. As we dive deeper into the implications of the Great Moon Hoax, it's essential to analyze how this elaborate deception reflects the rise of sensational journalism in the 19th century. Around this time, newspapers were competing fiercely for readers, and bold, attention-grabbing headlines became the order of the day. The New York Sun's audacity in claiming that our celestial neighbor teemed with life was not merely an isolated incident. It was part of a larger trend where the line between fact and fiction began to blur. The 1830s marked a transformative period in journalism, where the concept of serving the public with accurate information began to yield to the allure of profits and readership. The Sun, under the direction of its ambitious editor, Richard Adams Locke, recognized that sensationalism could captivate audiences like never before. By presenting the moon as filled with mythic creatures and lush landscapes, the newspaper didn't just entertain. It ignited the imaginations of everyday people and fed their natural curiosity about the universe. But what does this say about the role of the media in shaping public perception? The Great Moon Hoax was more than just a series of articles. It served as a case study in how mass media could influence scientific inquiry and public understanding. Readers who consumed these stories without skepticism were responding not only to the content but to the broader cultural desires of the era, an era ripe for exploration and discovery, yet still deeply shadowed by ignorance and superstition. As the excitement spread, it sparked conversations across salons and street corners, blending into public belief systems. The enthusiasm was palpable, but it also invited skepticism, especially from scientists and critical thinkers who recognized the importance of empirical evidence. The moon at that time was largely uncharted territory, full of mystery and myth. The fictitious accounts spun by the Sun exacerbated the existing liminality between genuine scientific inquiry and the fabrications that were now emerging from the media landscape. Let's take a moment to examine some other sensationalist stories that emerged during this period, which further illuminate this complex relationship between journalism and public perception. Take, for instance, P.T. Barnum and his traveling circus, which showcased freak shows and extraordinary acts that dazzled audiences while blurring the lines of reality. His marketing was a masterclass in sensationalism, presenting the unbelievable in ways that captivated the attention of a society hungry for novelty and spectacle. Another example comes from the 1840s with the widespread interest in spiritualism. Newspapers published tales of mediums and channelers claiming to communicate with the spirits, leading many to believe in these charlatans, blurring the lines even further between belief and skepticism. The media played a crucial role in legitimizing these phenomena, often prioritizing sensational content over the rigorous standards of factual reporting that we would hope to see today. This historical examination reveals a timeless lesson about the nature of media, the power it holds in shaping opinions and reality. Just as the Great Moon Hoax captivated a generation, today's sensational media can sway public perception in similarly profound ways. As we grapple with the complexities of information in our own era, striking a balance between critical thinking and open-mindedness remains as vital as it was in the moonlit 1830s. The legacy of these stories not only entertains us today, but also challenges us to engage with the truth more diligently in the face of alluring narratives. As we reflect on the aftermath of the Great Moon Hoax, we can see how this outrageous tale influenced the landscape of journalism and public trust. The New York Sun, reveling in its newfound fame and circulation, found itself at the center of a heated debate over the credibility of news sources. Readers were captivated by the moon, eagerly consuming the fantastical stories. Yet the revelation that these accounts were fabrications left a lingering skepticism in the air. Trust began to erode, not just in the Sun, but in journalism as a whole. This incident ignited a conversation about the ethical responsibilities of reporters. It raised critical questions about the fine line between entertainment and truth. The legacy of the Great Moon Hoax reminds us that when sensationalism takes precedence over integrity, it can distort the very fabric of public discourse. How many important events have fallen to the wayside, overshadowed by outrageous claims designed to grab attention. Fast forward to the present and the implications of the Great Moon Hoax become shockingly relevant. In an era dominated by social media, where news travels at lightning speed, the temptation to prioritize clicks over clarity looms large. Today, we find ourselves facing a similar challenge. The battle between fact and fiction has escalated. Misleading headlines, viral misinformation, and deepfakes are rampant, causing many to question what to believe. Just as in the 19th century, the thirst for wonder and sensational stories exists alongside our need for concrete truth. With the lessons of the Moon Hoax echoing through time, how can we arm ourselves against misinformation? Critical thinking emerges as our greatest ally. By questioning sources, seeking evidence, and maintaining a healthy skepticism, we can navigate the maze of information that bombards us daily. The audience of the 1830s was left reeling from a hoax that captivated their imaginations, and in many ways, we too are left in a whirlwind of fantastical claims today, desperate for clarity amidst the chaos. The Great Moon Hoax serves not only as a historical curiosity, but as a powerful reminder of the influence that media holds over our perceptions. It's fascinating to consider how a single newspaper's audacious claim can shift societal beliefs. And as we gaze at the moon tonight, let's remember that our relationship with it, both the real and imagined, has been shaped by queries of truth and fantasy. The enchantment of the unknown draws us in, but pursuing truth remains our enduring quest. So as we conclude this whimsical journey through lunar exploration and media deception, it is clear that the lessons from this episode in history continue to resonate. The intersection of science, journalism, and belief is a delicate one, and we must tread carefully, always weaving curiosity and inquiry into our understanding of the world around us. After all, in the vast expanse of the universe and beyond, the quest for genuine knowledge may just hold the key to our capacity for wonder.